Sports Interactive finally dropped some FM24 news yesterday, and we can all start getting hyped for the latest edition in the franchise. Lots of things were actually announced as part of Sports Interactive's trailer for FM24, but some things kind of maybe went under the radar, so I am here today to tell you the 10 things you need to know about FM24 from the latest announcement. Kicking off with number 1, it was confirmed that Football Manager will be released on the 6th of November 2023. This is great news for FM addicts, as you can now get your holiday requests in and kickstart your journey. The beta period usually lasts for 2 to 3 weeks prior to the release of the game, so I'm probably gonna say targeting something like the 19th of October. Maybe it was the 20th last year, so let's see when the beta comes out, but be on high alert around that sort of time. Football Manager will not only be returning for PC and Mac, but it will be back on console as well. The game will be launching on PS5 and Xbox and will be returning to Nintendo Switch. FM23 increased the player base significantly, so SI will be hoping this continues with the upcoming game. Football Manager 2024 Mobile will be available exclusively for Netflix members. Now personally, I think this is a huge oversight from Football Manager because you're gonna need a Netflix subscription to play the mobile version of the game. Now, I don't know the breakdown of people who play mobile versus console versus PC and Mac, but I feel like restricting your users to having to have a Netflix subscription to play this is going to be a bit of a problem. The app is still going to be available within the App Store and the Google Play Store, but you're still going to have to log in via Netflix, which in a cost of living crisis is a bit of a bad look in my opinion. And speaking of the cost of living crisis, FM24 is now available for pre-order, and you can save money on the game by purchasing via the link in the description, which will take you to the Fanatical site. And whilst you're at checkout, you can use the code HOODFM for an additional little discount, which helps support the channel and helps get you some extra money off. For the first time ever, Football Manager has announced a timeline for feature information for this year's game, so no 45-minute long video this year. On the roadmap, we have smarter transfers, the introduction of intermediaries, individual player targets, and improved match authenticity. These will all receive further information and their detailed information releases over the coming weeks before the game is actually put out. One new addition I didn't touch on in the last point was the set piece refresh. Now, thank everybody. This is something that I personally have been asking for years, a little fresh up of the set pieces, because we've been stuck in the same menus for so long. It will just be nice to just see something different, even if it isn't vastly improved, and that does come in FM25. Listed alongside the set piece refresh, we have the addition of a coach's debut. Now, this is going to be very interesting because there isn't actually any information on this just yet, because they've not done their information release on this. But looking between the lines, you can kind of think that alongside a set piece refresh, you're going to have a set piece coach added into the game, and that would be their debut in the game, if that makes sense to everybody. So hopefully we can have set piece coaches in the game for FM24. Again, this is something that I've been asking for at least the last 2 years, because it's definitely more prevalent in real world football right now. Several clubs have used these in real life and are really starting to make an impact, and I personally can't wait to add David Beckham and 𝗕𝗓𝗘𝗚 to my coaching staff. Here we go again. It is the age-old debate of Football Manager and its graphics. The big upgrades are coming for FM25 with the introduction of the Unity engine to the series, but the screenshots that were shared today, you can see some real improvements to the matchday experience, such as the textures of the grass and the overall lighting of the matchday experience. Now, this is actually something that I wasn't expecting this year, but is a nice added bonus, because everything that helps like that make it look like you're watching a real football match is an absolute win-win from me. Whilst the matchday presentation looks a little bit better in FM24, unfortunately, that is probably where the graphical improvements are going to come to an end. From a UI perspective, the player profile screen has a color refresh with the introduction of the theme colors in this year's orange, and the tactics screen looks basically identical to FM23. And believe me when I say this, I heavily reviewed these images looking for something new, a different position, a different instruction on the tactics screen. Nada. Believe me, I tried to find it. There was nothing that they were releasing ahead of time in this particular instance. The release news saw the introduction of the Football Manager website being in Japanese. Now, I will say this was first spotted by 𝗕𝗓𝗘𝗚 and was then followed up by the introduction of an FM Japan Twitter account. It was later confirmed in the media release by Sports Interactive that FM24 will be making its franchise debut in Japan. Now, I personally don't see there is any way conceivable that they do this launch in Japan in a fresh new territory without having the J League. So fingers crossed we're getting a brand new league that you can play in FM24. So this is what we know about the FM24 release so far. There's been some interesting information out there, but everyone is kind of speculating, much like I am at this point. I'm looking forward to the release of their timeline and their roadmap. That was very good. I was very impressed by that, and hopefully they kind of deliver on those dates that they've promised. Let me know down in the comment section who you are going to manage on FM24, and make sure you're subs for all FM24 content and news as it breaks.